That America's #1 strawberry brand is directly tied to cancer. Driscoll's, which controls 1/3 of all U.S. strawberries, gets sprayed with up to 371 chemical pesticides before it ever reaches your family's table.
They are coating your children's strawberries in mosquito spray and marketing them as organic. Nearly every U.S. strawberry begins as a lab-engineered clone blanketed in Captain, the exact same chemical found in paint preservatives, submerged directly into fungicide baths, allowing 3 separate carcinogens to seep deep into the flesh. And that is only the beginning. Those berries then get bleached in chlorine and sealed inside plastic so thoroughly that no amount of rinsing can remove the residue. Nearly 1/3 of the strawberries Totsie scanned came back positive for bifenthrin, a chemical that has been directly linked to cancer. Scan what your children are eating before they take another bite. Comment Totsie to scan any food for free.
It has now been confirmed.
Hey, shalom, shalom. And before I get started, as always, I want to say Kol Haloyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Ruach HaKodesh. And double honors be unto our apostles and the elders, that great millstone, that rule and teach well, and that taught me this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And peace and blessings also be unto the elect. All right. Men, women, and children. All right. Those of you who truly believe on the names Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. And they're standing firm through faith. Okay. Here in these latter days. All right. Peace and shalom be unto you. All right. And coming back with another lesson. You know, as always, you know, to edify the lambs, the sheep of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. You know, to reprove, you know, to exhort, to rebuke, you know, the elect. Okay. Because that's, you know, that's who this word is only given unto. Okay. The elect of the nation of Israel. All right. The rest of our people are going to rebel. All right. Be blinded and be destroyed. Okay. And as you can see, you know, this video, you know, they was going into the strawberries, man, and basically how they're being processed and, you know, with cancerous chemicals. Okay, with, you know, I think it said like over 371 pesticides. All right, you know, these different, you know, strawberries are being covered in before they get to the people, man. I forget the name of that brand of strawberries. Let's get it real quick.
Family's table.
They are coating your children's strawberries in
U.S. strawberries get sprayed. It has now been confirmed that America's #1 strawberry brand is directly tied to cancer. Driscoll's, which control
Driscoll's, okay, which I'm sure all of the brand, you know, of strawberries are polluted, man. Okay. And ultimately, this is what happens, all right, when the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay. You know, he destroys the people, man. Okay. You know, this man, Esau Edom, all right, beginning with your top elites, bankers, all right, the rulers of this current world, this current earth, all right, as we speak. Okay, because remember, pursuant to the book of Job, all right, 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. All right, and pursuant to Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4, okay, the so-called white race, all right, which y'all are the Edomites, okay, and also the wicked, all right, pursuant to Malachi 1 and 4, okay, the border of wickedness, man. All right, and this is what happens when the wicked is ruling, when the wicked is in power, man. Okay, he seeks to destroy. All right, and that's why also, you know, in these modern times, okay, you Edomites are also known as what in the Bible, the son of perdition. Okay, because no matter where they go, what they do, they destroy shit. Okay, whether it's the food, whether it's the people, and they're destroying the people by way of the food, all right, by way of the chemicals in the air. Okay, this man's the damn devil, man. All right, so what the scripture say in that 2 Thessalonians, all right, he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. So the Lord is allowing this devil to do this, man. All right, because he's the wicked. Okay, the Lord is showing you people who the wicked is, man. But only the elect is going to take heed to that. Okay. All right, because we was commanded what? The scripture says to never trust thine enemy. Well, let's get that. I want to start with that one. Slack. No, that's the spirit. It went right to it. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 12 and verse. We're going to start at 10. And it reads, it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Right? And, according to the Bible, we have enemies. Okay, you read the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. All right, gives you a list, all right, of enemies of the nation of Israel. All right. And number one being on that list is Esau, Edom, the Edomites. Okay, and we were commanded, all right, from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to never trust them. Okay, as it is written, as we're reading. Okay, don't trust these devils, man. All right, because their intentions are not good, period. Especially for you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indians. All right, their job is to destroy you, man. To take your mind away from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, which they have done. Okay, throughout the planet Earth, man. All right, but it was, a remnant that the Lord, created. That was going to turn back, man. That wasn't going to bow the knee, Salakia, to this devil, man. Okay, that wasn't going to walk down to Egypt for help, man. That was going to turn back out of that. Because we always walking in darkness, walking in the ways of this world at some point. But through the mercies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Lord called us up out of that. All right, we heard a voice behind us saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. Okay, and that's, those of us who walked in it, that's what we've done. Okay, we've turned back, man. Put off the ways of darkness and put on the armor of light. Okay, which is this truth, represents this wisdom and knowledge. Okay, that's the light. All right. But once again, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Right? Because if iron rust, you might get it away for a second, but it's gonna come right back. Okay, rust never really truly goes away, man. Okay, so that's this devil's wickedness, man. It may seem that he did something good, but it's gonna always come back to bite you in the ass, man. Just like with these strawberries, behind the scenes they're doing something wicked. They're coating the strawberries and many other foods. There is. Okay, with chemicals, man, with pesticides. Okay, but in this case, the video is about the strawberries. Okay, but yeah, they're genetically modifying food, 3D printing shit. All kinds of madness, man. So it's evident and made known who the wicked is, who the devil is according to the Bible, man. Which the word devil means deceiver. All right, and this man is damn sure a liar. Okay, but we're at the end of his rulership. We're at the end of his age. Okay, so he's being revealed in these times, man. All right, as it is written. All right, that the wicked was going to be revealed. All right. And I'm going to keep reading Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus 12 and 11. It's as though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. Right, meaning a glass that has some rust in it, right? And thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Right, you wipe the rust and it's still there. Meaning how Jake trusted in this devil. Like the past is the past. I'm gonna just speak on slavery or whatnot. Jake act like, because we're not physically in chains no more, that this devil has changed. Nah, he's still the wicked. He's still the devil. He's still Satan. Which, the word Satan means adverse. Meaning he's against the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? And he's also adverse to us. Okay? He's our enemy. Okay? But Jake trusts in these devils, man. Okay? Because we, have to go to them for the want of all things, due to the curses. But, those of us who are of the hopeful elect, we're no longer leaning upon him that smote us, man. Okay? We're no longer trusting in this devil as we once were. Okay? When we were walking blindly, to the Lord, Revelation 11:11 does. Okay? Till we stood upon our feet. All right, and now these devils are afraid, man. Okay, because this is what they try to keep away from us. All right, this understanding, this wisdom and knowledge. All right, which is keeping us stable, man. All right, they don't want us stable. They want us, unstable, man. Mentally, physically, they want us dead. All right, but once again, it's of Yahweh Bashim Shai's mercy. All right, they were not consumed. All right, by this world. And by the snares and traps that this devil puts out for us, man. Okay? And it says, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. So his wickedness is not all the way done away with, man. Okay? Though he come crouching, and, deceive a lot of you jakes, this man's still the wicked, man. Okay? Just because you ain't, like I said, just because you ain't in chains no more, don't mean this man has changed. His words was smoother than butter. What's that, Psalms 55:21? But war's in his heart, man. So war's in these devils' hearts at the end of the day, man. They don't care about, you people, especially you jakes. They don't care about you. Okay? They're over there killing kids. Over there in Palestine, Gaza. Okay? So what more of you people? What more of us? Okay? They call the people over here Goyim, cattle. Okay? So you're a slave to them. They don't give a damn about you Israelites, man. Okay? And it says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last, Salakia, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. That's pretty much the point, And from here, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 5. All right, going into how the earth is defiled. All right, under this devil's rulership, man. Okay? And that's why the staff of the wicked has to be broken, man. Okay, that power structure that he has. All right, the Lord is taking it away from him. All right, because his deception, his lies is not working anymore. All right, that veil that spoke about in Isaiah, Isaiah 25. All right, that veil is being uncovered, man. All right, and the veil is something that they wore, during the ancient times, women to cover their faces. All right, but in this case, it's synonymous for, lies being covered. All right, because these devils have been lying. All right, since they've been in power, man. Okay. And that's why Jake got that saying in the world, the devil is a lie. All right, which, I don't think Jake really fully understand that. Not knowing that the word devil itself means liar. Okay, and who is the devil? Once again, Esau, Edom. And he's a lie, man. So you're supposed to never trust this man. Okay, his intentions are never right. Never will be right. Okay, go back to 2020. All right, all the way up to now. Okay, but 2020. All right, 2020, 2021. All right, but this devil was, JABing everybody up, man. Okay, his intentions weren't right. Okay, that wasn't a love tap, man. That was a drive-by. Okay, and that's why you had people, dying. They got a thing called DIED, suddenly. Okay, and that was from that GAB. What else? You had people getting blood clots. People having strokes. Heart attacks. So the Lord is going to destroy this man. All right, that destroys the earth, man. All right, and this is book of Isaiah 24 and verse 5. It says, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Okay, you Edomites. Because once again, going back to Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into their hands. All right, they're the ones in power right now. They're the ones with, their face on the money. Okay, they're the ones, that have businesses and, different military sanctions set up throughout the earth. Okay, not us. Okay, Jake don't have a military. All right, they might be in this devil's military. All right, but that's their military, right? The Edomites. So, once again, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Right? And that's these devils. They can't keep agreements. They don't know how to do good. All right? The Lord says, to do one thing and they go the other way. All right? Like I made a video yesterday going into that. Going back to Cain, where he couldn't offer up the right offering. All right? That's you, that's the mindset of you Edomites today, man. Of doing the opposite of what the Lord said. The Lord said 2 men don't supposed to sleep with each other. So, likewise 2 women. All right, but what do you devils do? Give people license to sin. Okay? You let a man go marry a man. You let a woman go marry a woman, man. Which is totally wicked. Which is totally adverse to the ways of the Lord, man. Okay? But, once again, shows you that the wicked is in power. Okay? And he don't care about the ways of righteousness, man. The book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, which we'll get it real quick, actually. It goes to say that his spirit that's in him is not upright. And this is talking about Esau, Edom, man. You so-called white people, man. All right, beginning with your top elites, your bankers. Okay. I got to throw that out there because they're the ones in control of this. All right, which ultimately the Lord is in control. But he have given the earth into their hands. All right. And you basic day-to-day Edomites or, just reaping the benefits, all right, of them. Okay, the so-called privilege. All right, so that's why, you're also going to pay for putting us into captivity. All right, where a lot of Edomites, they like to go to say, well, I didn't have you in slavery or, captivity or whatnot. Well, Isaiah 14:21, you're going to pay for the sins of your forefather, man. Because you are your forefather coming back in the reincarnation, man. All right. And you're also reaping the benefits of your forefathers. So either way, you're going to pay. It's like we're reaping the benefits of our forefathers, right? That sinned against the Lord. Okay, so we had to come over here and be on punishment up under you devils, man. Okay, so y'all gonna pay as well. You gonna have to drink of that cup. All right. They who is not meant to drink of the cup have assuredly drunk it, man. Which are the Israelites. Okay, you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. All right, wasn't meant for us to drink of the cup and go into slavery, but through our transgressions, through our iniquities. All right, the Lord put our enemies up over us and us up under our enemies, man. As it was written, that was going to happen. Okay, the curses if we sinned against the Lord. That our enemies was going to come up very high and we was going to come down very low, man. And that's the condition that you see our people in, man. Okay, in a low, light condition. Okay, afflicted and poor people, man. All right, but once again, that was a set number. All right, that was going to return back unto the Lord, man. All right. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 5. And it says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. All right, these different philosophies. He is a proud man, neither keep it at home. Let me see, is this the... No, Salakia. That ain't the precept. It's verse 4. You know, once again, Salakia for that. Meaning, you know, forgive me. I meant to get verse 4. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. It says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Right, and this is talking about you Edomites, man. Okay, your soul is not upright in you. Okay? Because what person would poison the air, you know, that they live in? Poison the food that their people have to eat. Okay? Let alone kill little babies, man. I ain't going to say the little babies are innocent, but damn. Because whoever perished being innocent, but, man, your soul would have to not be right. You know, to just kill people for no reason, man. You know, to just be going around murdering people. All right. And it says, but the just shall live by his faith. Right. And who are the just? The just represents you Israelites. Okay. You so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, beginning with the elect. Okay. All right. We're going to live by faith. I don't want to I'm of the elect. All right. But we were set to live by faith, man. Okay. And not by the fulfilling of the flesh. Okay. And I had some more precepts written down. Let me see what I got. I ain't gonna keep this long. You know, I just wanted to make a quick lesson, quick impromptu. Going into the wickedness of these devils. You know, and I'm gonna probably just close it right here. You know, because I hear noise coming in the background. So, I don't want Ratazah. You know, you brothers and few sisters, all right, of the household of faith, we're edified, all right, and until next time, I want to say peace and shalom be unto the elect, and once again, double honors be unto our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and a Bible ball, and quam to the elect of Yasharallah. Hey, shalom, shalom.